Hey there folks, this is Ice Master again. In this video we will explore the most important cipher used throughout Monsters from Planet Monsterous, the Dualist Grid. In part 3 of the series, we are shown an ad where a strange man encourages us to figure out a cipher. We see him standing on a grid that has an irregular checkerboard-like pattern. This is just one of the representations of the Dualist Grid. What's the Dualist Grid? What's so important about it? Let's get down to business. The Dualist Grid is a magic square with an order of 18 and a magic constant of 999. What this means is that the sum of each individual row, column, and full diagonal is 999. There are a total of 324 values on the grid. The only unusual things about the grid are the presence of negative numbers, and that one space is marked differently from all the others. Numbers on the grid range from -106 to 217. The odd space in the bottom left corner of the grid has a value of 0. There are no repeating numbers. I have actually solved the Dualist Grid, or at least I think I have. Through painstaking experimentation using spreadsheet software, I was able to deduce all the values on the grid, and verify that they all equal 999. This took me about 7 days. The process is similar to the game of Sudoku, but not quite. Math is not really my strong point, so all I have to say is this. My brain is absolutely fried. The general pattern of the Dualist Grid seems to go like this. Values are increased by 10 as they are read every other space downward, and increased by 1 when read every other space to the top right. There are discontinuities in the pattern, giving it an unpredictable appearance. Frankly, I don't think I fully understand it myself. A critical component in finding the initial values of the Dualist Grid was in dual auto, seen in part 4. Here, the values of 3 rows and 3 columns of the grid are revealed, both numeric and alphabetical. The Crackapella Choir ad and the Captain Chromebones game, both seen in part 8, were also very helpful in figuring out both the grid and the values of words. What's with the letters? The grid forms only one half of this major cipher. The other half lies in the Gematria system, which gives us a way to use the grid properly. Gematria refers to the assignment of numbers to letters. That is, we are giving letters a specific numeric value. Throughout the series, we are given clues about the values of certain letters. The A=A ad gives us the values for quite a few of these letters, and the guy I mentioned earlier, who I call the Gematria man, has some of the values floating around him in the background. He even has values etched into his suit. I've been able to deduce most of the values for each letter. As of the time this video was posted, the values for Q and Z remain unknown. It looks like the most commonly used letters, namely vowels, have lower values than all the rest. Do note that -G, X, and -X don't appear on the grid because their values exceed its range. Gematria values are used not only for letters but for words, and even entire sentences whose values exceed the grid's range. Now that we know more about the Dualist Grid, and we have the Gematria values for the letters, what do we do with this information? What is the grid for? We can use the Gematria system to establish links between series elements. For example, the Gematria man gives us the first clue on how to use it. You and me are lost. Adding up the values for the letters in each of these words results in the same answer, 61. The Dualist Grid is very important, and according to the Gematria man, sacrosanct. It's used to construct glyphs, which the inhabitants of the Chaos Sphere use to facilitate their magic powers. In part 8, we can see a video where Flameboy shows us how to draw the burn glyph, so we can start some fires. Points on the grid shown here map to the letters B, U, R, and N, forming the glyph. The Gematria values are a part of a numerological practice in the Chaos Sphere. Parents give their children names whose values are significant in order to ensure their future prosperity. We will learn more about the Chaos Sphere, employ the Gematria system to solve more puzzles, and take a closer look at the ads that helps me figure out the grid in later videos. Thanks for watching. Let's get down to business.